Welcome to Omonasia. On today's countdown, we are going to talk about the 15 strongest armies in the world. But before we start, remember, we post videos like this daily, so don't forget to show us some support by clicking on the subscribe button below. Number 15. Australia. With a total budget of $26.1 billion, Australia has 58,000 active frontline personnel, 59 tanks, 408 aircrafts and 6 submarines. Number 14. Israel. With a total military budget of $17 billion, Israel has 160,000 active frontline personnel, 4,170 war tanks, 680 aircrafts and a total of 5 submarines, making it the 14th strongest army in the world. Number 13. Taiwan. With a total budget of $10.7 billion, Taiwan has 290,000 active frontline personnel, 2,005 tanks, 804 total aircrafts, and 4 combat submarines. Number 12. Egypt. With a defense budget of $4.4 billion, Egypt has 468,500 active frontline personnel, 4,626 tanks, 1,107 military aircrafts and a total of 4 submarines, making it the most powerful army in Africa. Number 11. Pakistan. With a defense budget of over $7 billion and a total of 617,000 active frontline personnel, the Pakistani military is one of the largest forces in the world in terms of active personnel. The Pakistan Army has 2,924 tanks, 914 aircrafts and a total of 8 combat submarines. In Number 10. Turkey. With a budget of $18.2 billion, 410,500 active frontline personnel, 3,778 tanks, 1,020 aircrafts and a total of 13 submarines. In addition, the country can lay claim to an impressively large tank fleet as well as numerous aircraft and attack helicopters. Number 9. UK. With a total budget of $60.5 billion, UK has 146,980 active frontline personnel, 407 tanks, 936 total aircrafts and 10 combat submarines. Although the UK is planning to reduce the size of its armed forces by 20% between 2010 and 2018, it can count on being able to project its power around the world. Number 8. Italy. With a budget of $34 billion, 320,000 active frontline personnel, 586 tanks, 760 total aircrafts, and 6 submarines. Number 7. South Korea. With a total budget of $62.3 billion, South Korea has 624,465 active frontline personnel, 2,381 tanks, 1,412 total aircrafts, and 13 combat submarines. Number 6. France. With a budget of $62.3 billion, 202,761 active frontline personnel, 423 tanks, 1,264 total aircrafts, and 10 submarines. The French military is relatively small, but highly trained, professional, and capable of force projection. Number 5. India. With a total budget of over $50 billion, 1,325,000 active frontline personnel, 6,464 tanks, 1,905 total aircrafts, and 15 combat submarines. India also has access to nuclear weapons. It's expected to become the 4th highest military spender on Earth by 2020. Number 4. Japan. With a total defense budget of $41.6 billion, 247,173 active frontline personnel, 678 tanks, 1,613 total aircrafts, and 16 submarines. In absolute terms, the Japanese military is relatively small. Nonetheless, the country is extremely well equipped. Number 3. China. With a budget of over $216 billion, 2,333,000 active frontline personnel, 9,150 tanks, 2,860 total aircrafts, and 67 combat submarines. China has also made rapid strides in its military modernization program, now developing a range of potentially game-changing military technologies, including ballistic missiles and fifth-generation aircrafts. Number 2. Russia. With a total budget of $84.5 billion, 766,055 active frontline personnel, 15,398 tanks, 3,429 total aircrafts, and 55 submarines. The Russian armed forces are the unquestioned second strongest military power in the world. Russia has the world's largest tank fleet, the second largest aircraft fleet, and the third largest submarine fleet. Number 1. US. With a total budget of over $601 billion, US has 1,400,000 active frontline personnel, 8,848 tanks, 13,892 aircrafts, and 72 combat submarines. The US also has by far the most aircraft of any country, cutting-edge technology like the Navy's new railgun, a large and well-trained human force, and that's not even counting the world's largest nuclear arsenal. That brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. And hey, don't forget to show us some love by clicking on the subscribe button below. See you next time. Bye bye.